To China for my internship because it's the most important destination at this point for people who would like to advance in their careers, and also because I received my education at an American university, so I got this part of the world in terms of culture and way of thinking covered. I also did a semester in France, so I got a taste of European culture, and now it's time for Asia. So far, my internship has been very interesting. It's my second week, so I'm still getting to know the people at work and trying to socialize as much as possible. And what I've gotten out of it so far is a lot of information about how things work in China, the work ethic, professionalism, how people communicate and interact with each other, which is very different from the way things are done in Egypt. For example, here we only have 1 hour lunch break, and other than that, people do not talk with each other, they're very focused, they work, whereas home it's a little bit different, it's very loose. I've been getting along with most people, and because I'm from Egypt and I think this is the first time they've had someone from an Arab country, a lot of people are interested in me. They'd like to know how things are back home, they'd like to know about my culture, why I'm here in China, and it's been really fun for me sharing these things about myself with everyone. The other foreigners, yes, we've been hanging out, of course, even more than other people, and we go to lunch together every day, and because they've been here for a longer time than me, they order for me at lunch, they give me tips and they help me out, they walk me to the subway. I chose Getin2China to help me find an internship because it would have been impossible for me, I think it would have been impossible for me to find one on my own. Especially coming from Egypt, I don't think my application would have been taken very seriously. Getin2China has been very helpful. Since I arrived, they picked me up at the airport, took me to my apartment, they took me to the supermarket, showed me my neighborhood, which is nice. Getin2China is really nice where I live. And what else? Yeah, and last weekend they threw a party, they gathered a lot of interns, and it was a great opportunity to meet other people since I'm new here. So I've gotten to know some people and we're planning to see each other again this weekend, so that's great. At first, when I decided that I wanted to go to China, my family found the idea a little weird, and then when I explained it to them and they took their time to process the idea, they became extremely supportive. They're very proud of me for taking a step like that. Before arriving here, I had a few preconceived ideas, such as China and Beijing being very, very crowded, lots of people, and that Chinese people are very, very hardworking, that there's no joking at work, and these two are, I found them to be true. If I could use one word to describe Beijing, it would be mysterious, because of all the hutongs and all the secret neighborhoods that nobody knows about, and the things that only locals know and they can introduce you to, the food, the different subcultures within the city. So yeah, that's why I think it's mysterious. Since I got here, I've been going to bed at 9 p.m. except for weekends. That's the only way I can wake up as early as I'm supposed to and to be fresh in the morning and ready for work. I think here in Beijing it's very easy to make friends and to meet people. So far I made a friend at the mall. I was standing in front of the fitting room alone, shopping, and Chinese girl came, she was behind me, and I asked her to translate something for me, and she did, and then she's like, "Are you here alone?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm shopping on my own." She says, "Well, me too, would you like to go shopping together?" I said, "Of course," and we ended up having lunch together and exchanging phone numbers. The very first thing I did when I arrived in Beijing was go to the mall and buy a coat, because Egypt, as most people know, is a warm country, so they don't even sell coats that are warm enough for the Beijing weather back home, so I had to buy one here. And the most interesting thing I've eaten so far is Beijing duck. I had heard a lot about it before coming, and it was very important for me to try it in my first week. And I was a little surprised that the skin is served alone in a separate plate than the meat, but of course it was very tasty. The most challenging thing for me is getting into and out of the subway. Because people here tend to push, and because of course it's very busy and I go to work and come back from work during rush hour. So I have to push my way around, and often I can't get out of the train. One time I had to go to the following station and then take the train back so I could get home. I started learning Mandarin 4 months before coming to China, and the most difficult part to me about learning Chinese is the pronunciation and also the Chinese characters. That's definitely the hardest thing for most people. 我喜欢中文